Okay, so first of all we need to take out the old bearings, and we need to take out the seals, and of course, as I said before in the last episode, you need to take away this one, and it's a tricky one because it's left-hand threaded, so remember that, because otherwise you won't get it off. And it could be a little bit tight, but usually if you tap it slightly it loosens like this, and this is what I've already done. I tapped out these seals from this side, push them out, and these ones, the inner or the outer parts for the bearings, I tap them out with a suitable socket that fits exactly inside here, because it's very narrow. It's very thin edge you want to tap on, so it's hard to get to it with something else than a socket. So tap those out, so like this. This is scrap. The same thing on this side here, and the seal, take it out from this side, sorry, and this one the same, socket like this. I think it's a 20. I put some tape over it. Find some socket that fits exactly inside here, then it's okay. So these ones away, and the seal for this one here, for the outgoing shaft, has to be removed. You have it's inside here, so behind this bearing, outer bearing surface too. So you have to tap it on this side. Same method. Socket, push it out, and you get. And this one we want to reuse. So this we save, and this we scrap. So that is pretty much it for the seals on this engine. I don't know about this one, maybe we can take that later on. That's the easy one anyways. Okay, so first of all we need to put new bearings to the crank. And why? Because afterwards, when we put new bearings inside here, we need to check them for how much play they have. And it's not that critical on this engine, I think, because it's not so hard tuned. But I need to take away these two inner bearing surfaces with a special puller, and it looks like this. So this is a special tool made for SACHS and PUC engines. So it has these bolts put into it that fits exactly on the inner surface there. So it's just to tighten it evenly. Maybe I should get a... No, I think it's okay. Why have I still the piston here? I don't know. I put these aside. So now I need a... Oh, it's there. Now I need a Allen wrench. So this is a very usable tool. If you, I say it's needed. I mean, you see here is the important one. It's a shim, and hopefully this will be the right later on, but we have to check that. And the first thing to do is to take off these bearings. You see the bearings. These are good because they don't destroy the the inner surface here. Well, because it's going to be like this. You shouldn't destroy the surface here. And why? Because we might have to take the new ones off if we find out that the shims that are here right now, it's not enough. Because it should be some play here. Not too much and not too little. So I will try to keep them in some way organized, so I know which shim should be in the right place. So on to the next one. You see there were two shims there. We put them back. Hopefully we get the same play with the new bearings. We don't know yet. So, okay. On to the next subject. Okay, so here we have the new bearings. What we do first is to get out the inner one. And this we have to press on or push on with something. And this is useful in this way also. You can actually use a hammer and push it inside. Oops. The shims are still there. Yeah. So we will just gently tap it. Okay, so done there. Tight and good. Okay, so on this side was only one shim. So we put the next bearing on. Just gently tap. Okay, so there it is. And after this, we need to put these one. And they're not possible to mix up, so it doesn't matter which one you put on this, which side. But keep track of the shims, because otherwise it may misalign. So after this, the crank is ready. We need to push these ones into the housings here. put this off side and further on this one. And this one has I don't think you can put them wrong. You can, but then you will not get in the bearings. They are supposed to be sit like this. Like this is not possible. So be careful when you put them in. Like this. And this should also be tapped gently into the housing. We do not put in the seal right now because first we need to check the play. So we should put them together without seal, and that's because if we put the seals in, it's very hard to try to see the play here. So we put this aside for a sec and push the outer bearing into this one, to this side. Now we can check the play. So what we do is to put in crank and the gasket here, because otherwise the readings will be totally wrong anyway. So just put these parts together, like so, and find a couple of screws here. As you see, it's a lot of play right here, so we'll see how much it is. Seems to be very much. We can feel it immediately. And now we try to find which seems to be a little bit on both sides here. So it's a lot. It's really a lot. And that is not good at all. So the crank should here be centered in the middle. So we definitely need to do something about this. So what we do is try to anyway screw it together. Let's see. So, now we have the gasket in between. Actually, it seems like we should put it on this side. The seams. But we need to check how much. So if we look at the play here, we can see that if I try to adjust it to 0, like so, and I lift it up, we get about almost 0.3. 0.3. And it should be about, let's say, 0.1 is a good rule of thumb. I think so. 0.06 to 0.12 I think is the, according to the book if I remember it correctly. So we should aim for 0.1 or something like that, and then we need to get 0.2 more to the crank, to maybe one side or maybe a little bit on both sides. Okay, so let's try to do that. The crank should be kind of centered. It's the best. Again, it's not that super important on this kind of engine. So we take it apart, we take out the crank, and be careful with the gasket. So what I do now is to take away the bearing on this side. Put my screwdriver there. Just like so. So we take away this one again. Actually, it was on this side. There was only one shim left, and I noticed when I took it away that the bearing on this side is not the same as the bearing on the other side. Where is it? The bearing on the other side is like looking like this. So I'm a little bit suspicious that someone actually have been here and changed it, and maybe when they changed it they forgot to put in the shim here. That could be the explanation to why there are two shims there and only one here. So now I have to find and look for a shim that's 0.20. 0.23. So now I put in 0.24 or 23 or 24 there. Let's see, it shouldn't be less than 0.6 anyway, so we try this out again and see what happens. So put the crank in back together, and this side, and if I had put in the seals here, I wouldn't be able to lift and feel the play. So now we will see if we got too much, or we have to take some away or not. I think it might be okay. Like so. Okay, so we try to find out if it's good. See, it's about 0.6, and that's, or 0.7 maybe, so I find it to be okay. Okay, so now when we have finished this part and the crank seems to be in the middle, we have some play, perfect. It doesn't touch anywhere. Now we can move on with the rest of the assembly. So I think this will be the end of the first part of the assembly, the adjustment of the crank.